So in today's video, just have a quick chat about onboard toolkits for bikes. Now, it's always a point of debate for a lot of people. A lot of people don't carry anything at all. Me, I like to be as self-sufficient as I possibly can. I don't want my ride ruined. I certainly don't want my holiday ruined by a silly breakdown when I don't have a spanner that fits, or I have to wait 5 hours at the side of the road. There's nothing more infuriating than being on a lovely day, watching all the bikes go past, you're sitting at the side of the road for want of a 10mm spanner. So I try to carry as much as I can. This is a touring bike, so for me this is about being self-sufficient. I do carry quite a big toolkit. Now, my other bikes don't carry anything like this much tools and as much spares on as this one. You know, I can afford to carry a bit more on this one. I'm not really too worried about a bit of additional weight or anything like that. So, and it's got space to carry stuff. The Guzzi, as you can see here, she's got all the clothes off, so you can see there's just loads of cubby holes. There's loads of places you can do it. It's got a great big boot here. You can really stash an excellent toolkit in there. You can take virtually everything you need. So to start with, when you're building a toolkit, the first thing you need to think about is what's going to be the most common type of failure and what can you realistically fix by the side of the road. Now, on a 35-year-old motorbike like this one, almost certainly a problem's going to be electrical. So I'm going to have a broken wire or a chaffed wire. It's going to cause a short, it's going to blow a fuse, and that's going to disable it. And that's exactly what's happened today. On the Guzzi, the horns and the starter circuit share the same fuse. These terrible crimped connections that the previous owner had done, it got a short on, it touched the motor, pressed the horn, and it blew the fuse, and then the bike wouldn't start. And you know, that would normally be quite a bad problem for most bikes, but of course it's absolutely no problem at all really for the Guzz, even though I'm sort of getting a bit too old for bump starting these, especially fully loaded. So all I did was went in the toolkit, grabbed the spare piece of wire, went to the starter motor, connected the solenoid fire to the main power, and bang, she just fired straight into life. So just having a little tiny bit of wire in the toolkit was all I needed to restart the bike. I didn't have to go mucking about with fuses. I was only out for a little ride. I was home again in half an hour. I've tracked the problem down with the meter, found it, and that's sorted. Now, I could have spent half an hour on the side of the road checking the fuses, and it probably just would have blown it again. So it's just not worth it really. So on the Guzz, it's such an easy thing to fix, and just keeping a little bit of wire in the toolkit, you know, just got me home. Okay, so what tools do I actually take on the bike? So so the standard toolkit of the Guzzi, you know, there's a bit of it's missing, but you can see here what I've got. So of course I've got a plug spanner and a spare plug. Of course this is a really handy tool as well for putting over your spanners to make them a bit longer. You can always take this plug spanner over the spanner, give you a bit more leverage. Set of Allen keys that I know are on the bike, so standard the 6 and 8, I think a 4 and a 3, I think they're the common sizes. I've got an 8mm spanner, 10, 11, a 13, 17, 19, a pair of pliers, and then this nice big one which is a 24 and 22. Now this fits the wheel spindles, and that brings me on to the second point. This bike's running tubes, so a common point of failure will be a puncture, and that's going to happen to any bike really. So you know, if I've got tools to take a tyre off, you know, at least it gives me the option to do some of that. Now, I won't be able to fix the puncture, but it gives me something to be able to start the job. And I normally do carry a spare inner tube around with me. I don't on daily rides, but if I'm going on holiday, we're going touring, I will carry a spare tube. Now, I don't carry tyre levers, so I can't actually do the job, but at least I could get it to somewhere, you know, they might not have a tube. I've got a tube, and I've got all the spanners to remove all the wheels, so that's the thing. So what else do I carry on the bike? So normally I have a tube here, carry a spare inner tube here on top of the battery. I've got here a set of throttle cables or choke cables, the same cables on the Guzz. I can use them for both, though the choke I can sort of manage without a choke cable. A spare clutch cable, which is really essential. Clutch cable goes, it's an absolute nightmare on the Guzz. Trying to start off in 5th gear, they're so high geared, you sort of do need a spare clutch. Now I know a lot of guys will wire their cables next to the existing cables. Yeah, and I guess if you're hardcore and you know you're going to break a cable at some point, you know, you're on the road doing a circumnavigation or something, then fair enough. But I'd rather keep it tidy in a plastic bag, all sealed up, out the weather, and then if I need it, I need it. In fact, I never tend to use it. I normally spot the cables going, and I'll replace the cable and keep that always as a spare. So what else do I carry on the bike now? I carry a spare clutch lever. When I'm touring, I do actually carry a spare brake lever and clutch lever, but On the Guzz, you don't really actually need a front brake lever because, of course, it's only doing 50% of the front braking. So you can actually get home with a broken front brake lever. It's not that important. So, but the clutch lever, of course, is. I've actually fitted these guards now because I'm sick of breaking these levers. If the bike does actually touch anything rubs against it, they're very, very easily broken. And of course, that could be the end of your holiday. The worst ones are these span adjustable levers because they tend to break right here. They're so fragile. You only have to catch that on a wall or something, pulls it that way, and it just snaps it here. Right to there, and you've got no brake lever at all to ride on. They always tend to break right here. They don't break. I guess the new ones have got cutouts here to stop it, but this for me is the weak point here, and this is where it's going to break. So if you don't have the luxury, you've got an ordinary bike, it doesn't have link brakes, you probably want to think about carrying a front brake lever. Somebody breaks that lever on you, that's the end of your holiday. The bike's just not safe to ride. Okay, so there's my basic tools, right, and now I have my extra tools. So I'll just put this camera down. We can just go through this. Okay, right. Okay, so what have I got in here? Okay, so let's just start at the start. So I've got more wire, spare condenser. This bike's on point, so I carry a spare condenser with me. Never had cause to use it. Some more wire, a voltage tester. Now you might want to choose to carry a meter to diagnose problems with, but I can sort of diagnose 90% of my problems with this. These are little brass whatever they're called, lights, the name escapes me at the moment, tester lights, whatever. Absolutely brilliant, only a few quid on eBay, absolutely excellent. Spare relay. Okay, some bulbs and some fuses. So I've got a spare tail lamp bulb. I don't carry a spare headlamp bulb. I guess if I'm going to Europe I need to carry a spare headlamp bulb. In the UK I don't use the headlamp a lot. I'm not touring overnight, don't really like touring in the dark, can't see anything. And I can always, with it being a manual headlamp, I can just stick it on high beam and push the headlamp down. So just a tail lamp, indicators not really worried about. Spare plug cap, pretty useful on the Guzzi because they're so easily broken. So I just carry a spare plug cap. Some bits of string, there's a razor blade, string, some other bits and pieces in there, roll of insulation tape, a multi-tool for stripping wires and pliers and completely seized up. Yeah, so cutters, wire strippers. I've got some hose clips and some nuts and bolts. I've got another nut there and another bolt, and that's it. It's not a huge amount of tools, but I find it's exactly what I need. Oh, and some cable ties, of course. Who doesn't go anywhere without a pile of cable ties? It's always handy to carry. So that's it, really. I'll end it there.